Welcome to SHOWstudio's Fashion Radio, the podcast and video series exploring the remarkable relationship between fashion and music. Every week, I'll be joined by fashion's biggest names and the talent of tomorrow as they share their 10 life-defining tunes and the stories behind them. I'm your host, DJ Fatzoni, and today I'm joined by one of fashion's most revered creatives. This designer, stylist, and editor has not only been associated with some of the industry's most sought-after names, including collaborations with Lady Gaga and Nick Knight, but has also had stints as creative director at Diesel and Mugler. You may not know his face, but his portfolio is as renowned as the creatives he's worked with. I'm talking about none other than Nicola Formichetti.
I was just kind of driving from Soho here and just like reminded me all the crazy stuff that kind of London time was, you know?
When did you move here?
96, 97. Mm-hmm. I was 18, 19 from Italy. And I went straight clubbing. Mm-hmm. It was the time of Trade, Turnmills, Melt, DTPM, Ministry.
I was resident at all of those clubs. Funny that.
Yeah. It was the Kitty Lips.
Oh, that was Maxine's
club.
Yeah,
Maxine. Yeah. And for me, it was like, I was obsessed with the magazines like The Face ID, you know, reading it. And then
proper magazines.
Magazines. In Italy, I was buying this, and then I was like, I have to go to London. So I came here, and I went straight to those clubs that were mentioning in those magazines. Mm-hmm. And I actually saw people from the magazine in these clubs. So the first 3-4 years, I actually don't remember that much.
Where was you working? What was your first job?
First job...
fashion.
Fashion was... I worked at Vivienne Westwood's store.
Uh-huh. Which one?
In Conduit Street for like a week. And he paid the rent, and then it was but I faked to my parents that I was going to school, architecture school. So I had money, a little bit of money spending, but you know what, I went to buying clothes and whatever, clubbing, and that time. Everything I do today is because of that time. Uh-huh. Everyone I know from that time is still like a dear friends and inspirations. And it was magical.
Because, that time between the 80s and the 90s really was an era, because it wasn't about social media. It wasn't about what was going on in your hand. It was what was going on around you.
It was so insane. And then there was this synergy, especially in like East London, Shoreditch area, where then I moved from Camden. And that was like, and then I started working at Pineal Eye, which was his store in Soho. That was basically what I saw in clubs done in a store. Yeah. It was easy as that. And
so you're a shop girl, basically.
I was a shop girl for few years first, and then Katie England, and Alex,
great,
they used to come to the store all the time, and then I think Katie was trying to hook me and Alistair up, and then we were like,
that would have been fun.
Like now, girlfriends,
two bottoms don't make a top. Let's start it. Hello, honey.
Yeah, and so I became really good friends with them, and then I started working at Dazed. As like Jefferson gave me a page in the magazine. Yeah, said, hey, this is yours. Do whatever you want. And then page became 2, 3. Then I started doing photo shoots, and I had no idea what I was doing because they did that to me. I want to help and find other young people. I mean, that's what I've been doing for 25 years.
Wouldn't the world be perfect if everybody was like that? Do you go?
They should be.
They're not, though. They're
egos.
100%. And ego comes from a place of fear. So when anyone's feared up around, oh my God, there's the new kids on the block. Good luck to the new kids on the block. So that takes us on to, what do you listen to lift your moods? If you had one track or an album and you think, ooh, well, I'm in a really bad mood, I want to get happy.
Well, for me, it's just any just 90s music. Depend on which one, but probably Bjork, actually. Army of Me and Hyper Ballad. Because that was like when I moved to London, and that was the song in the pop culture. And it's kind of like scarred me, It was beautiful with visuals and the whole thing.
Well, it was the whole package, and it always is.
And Mr. Nick Knight doing the visuals.
You know, I think it wasn't Nelly Hooper that produced that as well. I think all that lot that were involved in that with that propelling Bjork to where she got to at that point in time.
And she was around.
Oh,
always around.
Always around. She was always clubbing. There you go. And yet again, and you know, the thing about it is when you're in that world and you're making music, you need to go out to understand what the kids are dancing to and what they're listening to. Because what happens is you start off in those places and then you suddenly get too busy to go to those places. And then what happens is the scene gets too busy for you. And then basically you're left behind and you're still making music from 1996. And everyone else is in 2024. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And you're like, oh, and you can't work out why it's not working. But that happens to so many people. But Bjork's one of those people it doesn't happen to. When it comes to fashion, you know.
It just keeps going.
Well, you know, the thing is, people laughed at her. When she wore the swan outfit, people laughed at her. You know, it became, you know, such a farce of like, oh my God, because they didn't understand it.
The beginning of, you know, when I started working with Gaga, it was a little bit like that. You know, people didn't understand it. And I remember I was in New York at that time, and all the people that I knew in London that was my friend didn't support her.
There were certain creatives that really wanted to get behind her, but the rest were scared.
Yeah, I mean,
they were really scared. They were like, fuck, who is this?
Yeah, that's why we had lots of McQueen, because Lee loved her. So we had the archive, the whole thing, the new thing, you know. And there was Mucha Prada was really into her at that time. But most of the people are scared of her, you know. But we were like, fuck it, let's just fucking go.
That's what makes Gaga Gaga. That energy of like, okay, fuck it, I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. I'm just going to get bigger and bigger. And the outfits got bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I mean, that Brit Award show is one of my favorite things.
Where she's on the piano. Stunning.
That was like a few weeks later, Lee died.
Yeah.
You know? And we just made everything on her with a lace. And Nick did the sculpture.
What's your influential track from your childhood and why? What was that one track that changed everything for you?
Well, my dad is Italian. My mom is Japanese. So it's very dramatic. So they were always listening to like Pavarotti and Maria Callas, like opera. And like, so those Italian crazy songs are always my childhood. But then I started playing the piano when I was like, I don't know, 10, 11. And the first song I ever played was Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Oh, wow. Okay.
By Sakamoto.
Richie Sakamoto, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, a little dramatic and
it's the first
sad.
time we've had him on this podcast. It's been like 30-odd episodes. That's the first time anyone's mentioned Richie Sakamoto.
Oh, really?
Very bizarre. Because if we'd done this podcast 20 years ago, everyone would be talking about Richie Sakamoto. They'd be like, oh, you know, yeah.
Because I saw an interview that my old assistant, Anna, did the other day. And she mentioned, which I forgot, that when I did a shoot with Nick, with Gaga, Born This Way album, apparently I put Sakamoto like back to back. That's why it was all like crazy and weird.
Okay.
Yeah. I love his stuff. So yeah, that's my childhood, I think. Then I went to high school. It was so boring being a teenager in Rome. I was just kind of like just reading the face and ID, you know, and just hoping to be in London. So that's when it shifted. It was like mid-90s to like D-Light and Donna and George Michael and, you know.
The greats.
Yeah.
They were the greats and they still are the greats. If you were to listen to the Delight track right now, you would get up and dance straight away. It's what, you know, whether it be What Is Love or The Groove Is in the Heart, you know, just Lady Miss Kia still got it. They've all, that whole image, the whole look, it's now still. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, everything I do is because of Lady Miss Kia and her dress, you know? I mean, she was incredible. Yeah. So that was like, so I have this like extreme like of like super crazy clubby music and this kind of like traditional like classic. So London, beginning of London, then I started working with Kim Jones.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
Of course I am. You know, I collect Kim. I've always collected Kim since Umbro days.
So his graduation collection at St. Martin, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's so cool. And then we became friends. We started working, and he was so into disco. And I remember all the disco songs, like, because we were all into Paris is Burning at that time.
Of course we were.
Yeah, all the soundtracks of that was, and then mixed with his like super modern sportswear with the disco was like so fresh.
So what song do you have on repeat in your studio or while you're working? What is the one?
So if I'm alone, I'm like George Michael, No. But when I'm with kids, I don't know. Like,
do you leave it up to them?
No. I listen. I
love that. You don't leave it up to them. No, they can fuck off.
Yeah. I love Sex Styles and then like Panther Modern. Like there's this new LA kids, electronic. I like electronic, you know, all inspired by 80s and 90s. There, you know, but the mainstream ones, I really don't listen to. You know,
no, there's a place for them. It's called the radio.
Yeah,
leave them on there. There's modern cultural music that people class as pop, and that doesn't cross over into dance scene or clubbing scene. And there's certain tracks that come from there. You know, that stem
remix.
Yeah, of course, or samples. That's everything sampled from the 80s and the 90s anyway, and the 70s. You know. Well, if you went to Trade, you know, when Trade was first opened and it was just banging fucking a hard house, and then we opened the Trade Light Room, which was the lighter side of it, which was more, when we did the vocal stuff. And then that became the main, so like towards the end, it became the main room because...
That's it.
You know,
because my friend sent me a play, I think on Spot, no, it wasn't on Spot, it was on SoundCloud, like Trade Mix.
Yeah.
And I listened to it. It was so hard.
Yeah.
And there was no melody, nothing.
No.
I was like, this is not what I...
No, you wouldn't Trade Light, you're Trade Light, baby. That's where we took it from there.
Yeah.
We took the whole vibe and turned it around.
To female vocals.
Yeah, always. Okay, what musician...
talking about this stuff.
It's good, isn't it? Because, you know, it's like everyone seems to think that they know a part of that subculture of the past, and they don't, because it doesn't get spoken about enough. What does get spoken about is the wrong elements of it. Do you get what I mean? People like to remember...
The dark side, whatever.
Yeah, you know that.
I mean, it's crazy. 3 months ago, I was living in LA, in Hollywood Hills, in the bright sunshine, with a puppy and, you know, jacuzzi and...
Fuck the jacuzzi. Yeah. Where's the puppy?
So...
What's the puppy called?
Oreo.
Oh.
Yeah, so one day a few months, I just went, the fuck am I doing in LA? It's too nice. Like, I feel like I retired.
Did you become melancholy? You know, when you...
No, I need the grit.
Yeah.
I need people around to inspire me. And like... So
I truly believe that nothing ever good comes from being comfortable. The more comfortable you are, the more you
I needed that 5 years ago because I got burned. Like I was working so much, living in Italy, New York, Tokyo, like back to back, like crazy. So I just like went to LA to like retire, basically.
Without saying Gaga, what musician today inspires your style?
Without saying Gaga.
Do you know, Gaga's probably one of the most fucking talked about people on this podcast.
Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know. Like, today, fuck.
Who inspires you? If you look at them and you think, fuck, I really want to work with them. Or I really want
to... I work with the best.
Of course you do. But who do you want to get and slap around the face and think, okay, you need to let me sort this out for you?
I don't know, actually. I never... people ask me that so much about like who I want. I don't know. I just... With music, with that kind of artist, I have Gaga, and it's like, that's amazing, you know? Like, and then we do... Like when I retired 5 years ago, I kept working with her. You know, I did the Chromatica tour and the whole thing, and that was very London inspired, actually.
It's an amazing tour.
Yeah, that was the last time I was here 2 years ago. Nick helped us doing the visuals and stuff. I don't know.
Do you still see her? Do you still work with her?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and we just launched her beauty line.
That's right.
Yeah, and now she's on fire. I mean, now she's becoming. I mean, she just. Non-stop, endless creativity. It's really inspiring, actually.
Well, Well, there you go. That's your answer to that fucking question. Who inspires you? Gaga. Okay. What's the most important song you've heard at a catwalk show? I love this question.
Okay. Well, I mentioned earlier about all the like disco stuff with Kim for me was really so new. The combination of like the disco and the Kim's world was really fun. When we did the first Bad Romance for McQueen was fucking shocking. Just shake the world. I actually love McQueen's show music because he always never matched the visual, but it was so right. And he would put like some stupid pop song. You know, it was so good. First McQueen show was, I think it was the robot. You know,
the spray one.
Yeah, and I kind of like sneaked in because at that time I was just nobody.
The show was amazing.
Yeah, and Isabella Below saw me outside the show and she grabbed me and then just like forced me into this thing. Oh, she was amazing.
Yeah, of course, man. Like, you know, yeah, again, another one of the greats that were there, and another one that went out of her way to support young talent.
And she wasn't crazy rich.
No,
but she just gave everything to this talent. I mean, fuck, so inspirational.
I wonder who does that today. Very, very few people.
I mean, London at that time was incredible. But you said that earlier that still there's amazing talents in London, right?
Right now, you know, there's this whole new gen like of young designers that are really doing their own fucking thing. Great. And it's great to see again. Do you get what I mean? It's kind of like it's going from the generics to the ungeneric again, and it's great. There's, you know, there's a lot of anarchy. It feels like anarchy.
Yeah, it was so boring the last.
You know, all of these like theatrical, and they are all theatrical designers that put theatrical stuff into their shows and into their collections, and they put that drama in.
That's London.
That's London. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah. You're not going to get that in Milan.
No,
you're only going to get that when London people show Milan. Right, best music video in terms of fashion. You've got to have a really good answer for this, right?
These questions are hard. I mean, because
you work in bloody fashion and music. How can it be hard? Just say it. Go.
Well, Stephen Klein, Alejandro, I must say, that was major. That was Eugene and Val. Yeah, we bleached her eyebrows. She was, oh my God. It was like 3 days in the studio just doing. That was after Lee's, death. And so it was all.
We've had Eugene and Val on this podcast, both of them separately, yeah.
Amazing.
You know, and we only invite the greats on here. We do.
Oh,
so I mean, it's like
with Val, we did some crazy stuff at the beginning. She's the one, with the horn.
Yeah.
All that. She's amazing.
Okay, describe what you're wearing today, and don't tell me you don't know that. It's not a hard question.
Oh, fuck. So, vintage jumpsuit, normal Kamali jacket, Margiela bag, Uniqlo tee.
I look much under the
all black.
All black.
Yeah.
Do you always wear black?
Yeah. Always. I think for like 10 years. And that. I don't know. That was my survival thing because I used to be really like wearing crazy clothes, like in my 20s and 30s, and I kind of stopped. When I went more like backstage and like working in like shoots, I don't know. Black just became a uniform.
It became the staple.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
46.
Are you? Okay.
I know. I started to. I'm making a book this year for comes out next year, and it's like a follow book with all my work. And basically, next year's 2025, right? And I started when I was 2000, so it's like 25 years.
Amazing.
But how? Like, I feel like I haven't even started.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I haven't even started. It's crazy.
What song did you listen to getting ready this morning?
I was listening to your voice.
How was it? Yeah, fuck it. There you go. You can't get better than that. Because you're listening to Eugene, right? Yeah.
No, I was like, let me listen to one podcast. And then I was like, oh my God, it's Eugene. Yeah. But normally, I don't know. in the morning, I listen to Philip Glass. Like I go super classic. Yeah, Sakamoto, Philip Glass, and yeah.
Does it calm you?
Yeah. So when I'm being creative,
Yeah.
Or thinking, I need classical music. Yeah. And then when I'm getting going, I need electro music, and dance music.
The energy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain classical music has that ability to just zone you out and just take it. It does what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful and very. For me, if I'm having a massage or I'm relaxing or I want to hear that stuff, it's always classical.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm in a car and I'm driving home from work, well, I don't drive, but I'm being driven home. I want classical on. I don't want dance music. Oh, if I get in a car and they go, oh, do you want to fucking dance? I'm like, I'm a DJ. I've just done 3 jobs. The last thing I want to hear is dance music. Just put classical on, please. Okay, if you could raid any wardrobe or write a song with any musician, living or dead, I love that bit. Who would it be?
Next, I don't know.
You don't know. It's a difficult question.
Yeah, because it's like there's some, I
mean, who wears black? Whose wardrobe's got a raid that wears black?
Rei Kawakubo, probably.
Well, there you go. There's a good question. Good answer. What song would you have at your funeral? And we already know what color you want everyone to wear.
I think I need drama. I think for my funeral, drama. So I don't know. I want everyone to cry and be angry, and maybe like a Rachmaninoff or like Mozart, Requiem, like da da da.
Yeah, Yeah, we have to make everyone has to cry at a funeral. You have to have that track that kind of just like rips the fuck out of everyone.
Adele.
Yeah, right? That's it. You have to have that element. I was going to have it. Mine was Mary J. Blige, No More Drama, Womack and Womack, Footsteps.
I Can Make You
Teardrop.
Love Me, George Michael.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. The live version or the recording?
Live.
Yeah,
live,
you know that.
Live. Oh, MTV.
It's the best. It's incredible. There you go. See that? That's feeling, right? As soon as you put that track on, it transports you to that place. It can be happy or it can be sad. It has the ability to be both. When you put a track on, 3 bars in, your hair stands up on your arms and you're just like, okay, I'm all right now.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's such a great song choice for a funeral. So, okay, what's the track that represents how you feel about life right now? Which is because you're going into exciting times with you, even though you're...
Yeah, but it's funny because I'm into super digital and Web3, and then what songs was I listening to there? Babylon Zoo.
Yeah, amazing.
Spaceman.
Yeah.
Oh, and that really kind of reflects what I'm doing right now. It is like weird, like utopian, like future, but super retro, I joined this company, Psyche, it's a Web3 fashion platform company, and we going to do some crazy stuff this year. So I'm really excited.
Because you've worked in the past, we were doing a lot of editorial stuff in like different magazines like Vogue and stuff like that. Where do you see print in reality here, right? Where do you see the magazine in your hand going now? Because I think digital and AI and all of these platforms are it's the future. And we shouldn't be scared of the future. As I said to you upstairs, my grandparents were probably scared of the radio. Mm-hmm. They were scared of colour television. They were scared
internet.
Oh, God forbid the internet. That just we were doing the noise yesterday of the modem starting up when you first got to get on the World Wide Web. That feeling, that was enough to scare anyone, but there was such, people just didn't understand it, so they hated it. And I think that's what's going on here with AI and with digital online. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I also kind of learned it from Nick, what I remember when the beginning of digital photography, remember everyone was so scared of retouching, and he just went for it. He created SHOWstudio and all that stuff, and I think he made me loosen up a little bit and not be scared of what's out there, and that's what's happening now with AI. I love it.
Well, you know, people are, when you know when something is a change, when the world goes on strike over it because they don't understand it. They think that suddenly AI is going to come along and take their jobs. No. Suddenly it's going to be writing. You know, you only allow it to do what it does, right? It gets you so creative.
Yeah,
it's not doing anyone else's
research.
job. It's doing its own job.
Yeah,
and it is research. And what it does is it enables you to cut out 3 months worth of fucking work really quickly, just so you can understand it better.
So when I'm like creating, I just do, when we used to do mood boards, you know, printing magazines and whatever, now we do it with AI and it's much quicker and it makes mistakes and does weird things. And yeah, it's like inspiration. But I think magazine, books are never going to go away, I think.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. You know, the excitement that you said at the beginning of this podcast about having the face and reading the face.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gone away. I think that still exists.
But for the younger kids, what is that?
It's 3 seconds. It's like 30 seconds on their phone. Swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. You know, you have all of these sites that do exactly the same thing as the face did.
Is that the same? Yeah, I suppose it's the same feeling when I was getting in my, early 20s.
Except that you had
a physical thing.
Have you still got all those copies of the face somewhere?
Of course.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I saw someone yesterday selling all their old copies of Vogue online. And I was like thinking, do people still do that? And obviously, so of course, once I did that, I literally Googled and there was fucking millions of people selling magazines. Do you know what I mean? The entire collection for 30 years, and it goes for big money. And, of course you're going to collect it. Those old copies of the face, right the way back to the first one with Jerry Dammers on, right up till now. When they brought the face back, I was really disappointed. For me, I thought it needed to be that legend that once was.
Oh, is it back now?
Yeah, it's back. There you go. That says it all. That says it all. Is it back now?
Days is going strong still.
Yeah. And you know what? And there's Perfect now and Katie Grant's still projecting and still pushing those young designers and tomorrow the people of tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think for British fashion right now, it's a very exciting time. Very exciting time because people think we're the underdog again.
Mm-hmm. And then the crazy things happen.
That, right? Always. It's not always the winners that win. Remember that. And it's always the ones that come second or third that take over the world. Thank you so much for giving up your time and coming in today.
It was a pleasure.
Fucking brilliant. Good luck with the Psyche startup.
Yeah.
And, the future is AI, I'm afraid to say. And, people like yourself, the creativity that you put into life is fucking amazing. Do you know what I mean? Because what it does is it not only inspires the next generation, but it's about the past generation being inspired. And that's what's brilliant about it. And so thank you so much, honey.